I'm going to show you how to do the wax resist technique for glazing, which is a really great way to get some fine lines in your design. So if you want to draw something that's kind of precise and has really fine lines on your ceramic work, you can also add words and they come out nice and clear with that fine line. So this is the technique that you would want to use for doing that. Also any kind of fine design work. So what you will need is your underglaze that you intend to use for the background. You can also just use the regular clay color for your background color. So you don't need to do this step, but I like to place a background color on my work. So your ceramic work needs to be greenware, which means it can't have been fired at all yet. So it's very fragile. And you apply the underglaze in 3 coats. After that dries, you're ready to apply the wax resist. There are specific brushes to use, and the wax resist is just wax, which is why we use specific brushes so they don't get ruined. You want to apply a nice thick, even coat of wax resist. So if you have some bumpy spots in your clay, make sure that you coat it really well. And just apply that wherever you intend to draw. And if you don't know, then I would just recommend applying it all over the piece. After the wax resist dries, you're ready to add your design. So you'll need some carving tools. Sgraffito tools work, or just your needle tool. It kind of depends on the quality of line that you want, how thin or thick. So choose the tool that you will use and just carve into the wax resist. So you carve right into both layers. So you're kind of scraping up the underglaze that you placed on there as your base layer, and also carving up that waxy wax resist. If you use the needle tool, you do have to make sure that the clay doesn't go back into that spot that you carved. So just be careful of that. Once you have your line carved, then you're ready to add your color. So choose the color of underglaze that you want your design to be. You can use any colors. And just apply it. Now you don't have to be super careful with this because that's the beauty of the wax resist. It will resist absorbing the underglaze. And you'll see the underglaze kind of bead up on the wax resist and then soak into the dry clay. So it's nice if your clay is bone dry and not leather hard at this point, although you can do both. It just takes longer for it to dry when it's leather hard. So just apply it nice and thickly, try and get it in all of those grooves, and then take a damp sponge and wipe off those beaded up areas. If you forget this step, then those little beaded up areas of underglaze will show up on your piece. Those will not go away when it's fired. The wax resist will burn off when it's fired, but the underglaze will stay. So make sure you wipe off any of that excess underglaze. And you can add other colors to your design and just do the same process with the sponge. And here it is after it's been fired. You can see the wax resist went away. And now I will just clear glaze it as I normally would with 3 coats of clear glaze. And then it's fired a second time and ta-da! It looks so gorgeous. There is the carrot mug, nice and shiny and food safe.